All right, Celtics fans, let's dive right into some of the latest developments surrounding the Boston Celtics and the potential moves that could shake up the NBA landscape. There are whispers floating around the league that the Dallas Mavericks might be considering a dramatic shift in their roster, potentially moving some of their veteran players in a bid to focus on the future. The main focus seems to be centering around their young phenom, Cooper Flagg, the #1 overall pick who has everyone excited about the next generation of Mavericks talent. With such a talented cornerstone, the Mavericks front office is reportedly weighing options to create flexibility and build a long-term contender around him. This includes considering trades involving some of their bigger names, and naturally, Boston could be a potential destination if the Celtics decide to pursue a bold mid-season acquisition. Now, when we talk about trades in the NBA, especially ones involving big pieces, there are always layers of complexity. Take Anthony Davis, for example. Even though Mark Cuban publicly stated that Davis is not going anywhere and that the Mavericks are focused on winning, it's clear that in reality, anything could be possible. Owners and general managers rarely reveal their true intentions, especially after high-profile trade missteps in the past, such as the infamous Luka Doncic trade. Cuban knows the stakes, and he also understands the value of keeping potential trade options quiet while gauging the market's interest. For Boston, this could present an intriguing opportunity, but it is far from simple. Acquiring someone like Anthony Davis would likely require a multi-team trade, possibly even resembling a blockbuster similar to what we saw with Jimmy Butler, simply due to salary cap constraints and the complexity of moving high-value contracts. Even if the Celtics were willing to explore that route, there are additional concerns. Anthony Davis is a veteran superstar, yes, but he is also over 30 and has struggled with injuries this season, only appearing in 14 out of possible 44 games for Dallas. Bringing him into a roster that already has a superstar returning from injury, like Jason Tatum, could introduce significant risk. The Celtics would need to weigh the potential benefits of adding an elite talent against the reality of his availability and health. It's a balancing act that requires careful thought, especially for a team aiming to remain competitive in the Eastern Conference while maintaining depth and chemistry. But the story doesn't end with Davis. The Mavericks have several other players who might be available for trade and could interest Boston. Names like Daniel Gafford, Najee Marshall, and Max Christie have surfaced as potential targets. Daniel Gafford, in particular, stands out as a highly tradable center with strong rim protection, rebounding, and offensive efficiency around the basket. He might not have a deep-range shot, but he brings a physical presence that could complement Boston's frontcourt, particularly alongside Robert Williams. Gafford's consistent performance over the past few seasons, averaging double-doubles in many games, makes him a valuable asset for a team looking to strengthen its interior defense and rebounding without sacrificing efficiency. Najee Marshall represents a versatile wing option. He brings toughness, decent three-point shooting, and an ability to play multiple positions, which fits the Celtic style of switching and defensive versatility. However, Boston's wing rotation is already crowded with promising young players, which could make integrating another similar type player challenge. While Marshall is undoubtedly skilled, his addition might complicate rather than simplify the rotation, and that's a factor Boston's front office would need to consider carefully. Max Christie is another intriguing option. At just 22 years old, he has shown promise as a 3-and-D player, hitting threes at an impressive percentage while also providing solid perimeter defense. Christie's youth and potential upside make him appealing for a team like Boston, which values not just immediate contribution, but also long-term growth and the ability to develop younger talent alongside stars like Tatum and Brown. Adding Christie could offer the Celtics flexibility for the future while also addressing immediate needs on the wing, creating a balance between present competitiveness and sustainable development. Beyond individual players, the strategy involves considering contracts, salary cap implications, and potential draft assets. For example, moving Anthony Simons, with his expiring contract, combined with a first-round pick, could create enough space to accommodate a player like Gafford without severely impacting Boston's financial flexibility. These types of strategic moves allow teams to strengthen key positions while maintaining the ability to pursue other opportunities as they arise. Trades are never just about talent alone. They require a delicate orchestration of timing, financial planning, and long-term vision. Boston's front office will also have to keep an eye on the broader league dynamics. Other teams might be exploring similar moves, meaning interest in players like Gafford, Marshall, or Christie could create bidding scenarios that raise the price for acquisition. The Celtics must carefully evaluate not just whether a player is available, but whether the potential addition truly elevates the team without creating new challenges. In this high-stakes environment, every decision carries significant consequences for both the present season and the years to come. From a Celtics perspective, the key will be identifying targets who fill gaps without disrupting team chemistry or risking too much on injury-prone veterans. Young, versatile, and affordable players often represent the most pragmatic options, allowing Boston to complement their core while preserving future flexibility. Whether it's a physical presence like Gafford, a switchable wing like Marshall, or a rising sharpshooter like Christie, the choice depends on how the front office evaluates fit, need, and potential impact, both immediately and in the seasons ahead. At the same time, the Mavericks situation provides unique opportunities. A team looking to pivot toward the future and centered around a young star is more likely to entertain creative trade proposals. For Boston, this means the possibility to negotiate for players who might not otherwise be available, leveraging their assets strategically to maximize value. However, navigating these discussions requires a deep understanding of not just the player's abilities, but also the contractual and organizational context surrounding each potential trade. Player health, contract length, age, and positional fit all come into play when evaluating trade targets. The Celtics have to be mindful of balancing veterans and young talent, ensuring that any addition does not create a bottleneck or redundancy in the lineup. In other words, it's not enough to acquire a good player. The move has to align with Boston's style of play, development trajectory, and long-term ambitions. As the trade deadline approaches, speculation will only intensify. Celtics fans can expect a flurry of rumors, discussions, and potential scenarios. The front office must weigh each option carefully, considering both the immediate impact and future implications. With a core of superstar talent already in place, Boston's focus is on making smart, calculated moves that enhance the roster without compromising chemistry or long-term sustainability. The calculus becomes even more intricate when factoring in three-team trades, salary cap limitations, and the need for complementary pieces. Adding someone like Anthony Davis could require moving multiple assets, while bringing in younger, rising talents like Christie or Gafford might be accomplished more directly, with fewer complications. Each potential trade carries its own risk-reward profile, and Boston's strategy will likely be dictated by a combination of opportunity, timing, and the perceived upside of each player under consideration. It's also worth noting that player versatility is a critical component for Boston. The team thrives when players can switch positions, cover multiple roles defensively, and contribute across different facets of the game. This makes players like Najee Marshall and Max Christie particularly intriguing, as they offer flexibility that aligns with Boston's style. Meanwhile, centers like Gafford can anchor the defense, protect the rim, and offer efficient scoring close to the basket, providing balance to the overall roster construction. The dynamic between short-term competitiveness and long-term planning is always delicate. Celtics management has to balance the desire to win now with the need to maintain financial flexibility and roster health for the future. Trades, in this context, become tools not just to improve performance, but to shape the trajectory of the franchise over the next several seasons. Every decision, from evaluating trade targets to negotiating terms, reflects this balance of present ambition and future strategy. In this scenario, evaluating the Mavericks roster offers several intriguing options. While marquee names like Anthony Davis may be complex or risky, players like Daniel Gafford, Najee Marshall, and Max Christie represent opportunities for Boston to add value in ways that are both meaningful and achievable. Understanding the nuances of each player, their contract situations, and how they fit within the Celtics system is essential to making informed, strategic moves that can pay dividends in both the short and long term. The Celtics fans should prepare for an exciting and potentially turbulent trade season. The possibilities range from cautious moves adding role players to bold trades that could redefine the roster. With young stars returning from injury and veteran players already providing stability and leadership, the front office must weigh each potential trade carefully, ensuring that every addition aligns with both the team's immediate goals and future ambitions. The pressure on management is immense, and every decision will be scrutinized by fans and analysts alike. But the underlying principle remains clear. Boston must aim to strengthen its core while maintaining flexibility and depth. In a league as competitive as the NBA, strategic trades can be the difference between a championship run and falling short, making these discussions both urgent and crucial. The Celtics have options, but they must be measured, strategic, and forward-thinking in how they approach any potential acquisition. The Mavericks' willingness to explore trades opens doors, but the onus is on Boston to identify targets that align with both current needs and future plans. From centers like Gafford to wings like Marshall and shooting specialists like Christie, the choice will reflect a blend of tactical necessity, financial feasibility, and vision for the team's trajectory over the next several seasons. This kind of strategic analysis is exactly what makes following the trade season so compelling for Celtics fans. The decisions made now will ripple through the season and beyond, impacting rotations, team chemistry, and championship prospects. Understanding which players fit, which assets to move, and how to leverage opportunities presented by other teams will be key in shaping Boston's path forward. Continuing with the Celtics' potential moves and the landscape surrounding the Dallas Mavericks, it's clear that Boston's front office faces a unique set of challenges and opportunities as they consider roster enhancements. The Mavericks are at a crossroads, and their apparent willingness to trade pieces outside of their young cornerstone, Cooper Flag, could create a rare window for Boston to make strategic acquisitions. Evaluating the Mavericks roster, several names beyond Anthony Davis stand out for their fit, value, and potential impact in Boston's system. Players like Daniel Gafford, Max Christie, and even Najee Marshall offer a combination of skills and flexibility that could complement Boston's already talented core, while also aligning with the team's focus on depth, versatility, and defensive prowess. Daniel Gafford, in particular, represents a highly intriguing option for Boston. Standing as a physical and imposing center, Gafford brings elite rim protection, offensive rebounding, and consistent scoring around the basket. Over the past several seasons, he has demonstrated reliability, efficiency, and durability, qualities that are often hard to find in a tradable big man. While he may not stretch the floor with long-range shooting, his presence in the paint allows Boston to maintain a strong defensive anchor while creating opportunities for pick-and-roll plays and lob passes, particularly when paired with Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Gafford's value extends beyond his raw statistics. He provides stability in the front court and can step into critical moments without the volatility associated with more injury-prone or inconsistent players. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Whispers are swirling across the league after a high-profile negotiation between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics reportedly hit a wall. Sources close to the situation suggest that tensions reached a boiling point, and one Bucks star didn't hold back his frustration. In what insiders describe as a fiery response, the player openly criticized the Celtics' approach, hinting that the deal was mishandled or undervalued. The comments, though not officially confirmed, have sent shockwaves through locker rooms and social media alike. Fans are speculating endlessly about what went wrong behind closed doors. Some suggest that the Celtics underestimated the player's market value, while others argue that the Bucks' front office simply called out poor negotiating tactics. Either way, the reaction was explosive, and it's clear that this saga isn't going to die down anytime soon. Rumors now suggest that this could impact not only future trade talks, but also the team chemistry in both Milwaukee and Boston. Analysts are divided. Some believe that the public nature of the criticism could pressure the Celtics into revisiting their offer, while others argue it may permanently sour relations, leaving both sides with little room to maneuver. Social media has been ablaze, with fans dissecting every snippet of the Stars' statement and speculating about what this means for the upcoming season. The Bucks' locker room, meanwhile, appears united behind their player, signaling that the organization is prepared to stand firm. The rumor mill is working overtime. Will Boston respond with a counteroffer, or is this the end of the line for these trade talks? For now, the league watches with bated breath as one star's frustration turns into one of the most talked-about controversies in recent memory. The fallout from this failed negotiation might reshape expectations for both franchises, leaving fans and insiders alike hungry for the next move in this unfolding drama. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.